Good morning, everyone. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Together, we're the Backyard Musings Science and Technology Channel.
Yep, we hope you're having a good year still, and glad you're with us. And today we're talking about a science issue that some could consider, like Steve just mentioned. Steve said this could either be evil or good, but whether it is or it isn't, it's here. So
It's
here we
here.
go.
I don't have a judgment on it either. 8 babies have been born in the United Kingdom using genetic material from 3 people to prevent devastating and often fatal conditions, doctors say. The method, pioneered by UK scientists, combines the egg and sperm from a mom and dad with a second egg from a donor woman. Now, I don't even know how that works. I mean, just picture this in your mind, 2 eggs. One gets inseminated, and how do you mix the other egg? I don't know. I have no idea.
Know.
The technique has been legal here for a decade, and this is from a UK perspective, but we now have the first proof it is leading to children born free of incurable mitochondrial disease. That's a good thing. Would you like to know more?
Yep, here we go. These conditions are normally passed from mother to child, starving the body of energy. This can cause severe disability, and some babies die within days of being born. Couples know that they are at risk if previous children, family members, or the mother has been affected. Children born through 3-person technique inherit most of their DNA, their genetic blueprint, from their parents, but also get a tiny amount, about 0.1%, from the second woman. This is a change that has passed down the generations.
So I wonder if a sister, if this would be the sister would probably have the same genetic makeup as her sister,
Sister or the mother of
the mother and sister are sisters, if you got a second egg from a sister, would that it'd be moot? Wouldn't be worth it? You need like new genetic material from like someone totally different,
I don't know. Or the mother's mother.
Or the mother's mother, yeah.
Some tie, some gene tie there somehow.
Or the father's mother, who knows?
Yeah.
None of the families who have been through the process are speaking publicly to protect their privacy, but have issued anonymous statements through the Newcastle Fertility Center where the procedures took place. Quote, "After years of uncertainty, this treatment gave us hope, and then it gave us our baby," said the mother of a baby girl. "We look at them now full of life and possibility, and we're overwhelmed with gratitude." I'll bet. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, this part of it sounds really cool. The mother of a baby boy added, quote, "Thanks to this incredible advancement and the support we received, our little family is complete." Going on with the quote, "The emotional burden of mitochondrial disease has been lifted, and in its place is hope, joy, and deep gratitude." So what are we talking about here? We're talking about a baby that is not going to get sick with anything.
Well, I'm gonna, while we're talking, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Mitochondrial, and I should have had this for you already. Sorry.
Well, maybe it says it in the next.
Group of rare genetic disorders where the body's cells struggle to produce energy, incapacitating high-demand organs like the brain, the muscles, heart, and liver, leading to symptoms such as fatigue, weakness, seizures, developmental delays, and organ dysfunction. Yeah, that sounds nasty. Yeah.
I think he gives a little bit explanation in the next segment.
Okay, mitochondria are tiny structures inside nearly every one of our cells. They are the reason we breathe, as they use oxygen to convert food into the form of energy our bodies use as fuel. Defective mitochondria can leave the body with insufficient energy to keep the heart beating, as well as causing brain damage, seizures, blindness, muscle weakness, and organ failure.
Huh. About 1 in 5,000 babies are born with mitochondrial disease. The team in Newcastle anticipate there is demand for 20 to 30 babies born through the 3-person method each year. Some parents have faced the agony of having multiple children die from these diseases. Not
so
good.
1 in 5,000, that seems like a lot to me, man. For something like this?
Yeah.
That's like roll the dice, and your baby might have it. Huh. Yeah. Mitochondria are passed down only from mother to child, so this pioneering fertility technique uses both parents and a woman who donates her healthy mitochondria. The science was developed more than a decade ago at Newcastle University and the Newcastle upon Tyne Hospitals, NHS, Foundation Trust, and a specialist service opened within the NHS in 2017.
So in that segment, it almost says that it doesn't have to be somebody that's related to you.
Right. I'm saying it'd probably be moot to have your sister because you probably got the same genetic makeup. You
Right.
probably need someone you don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
And before you start, Scott, on the screen, folks, right now is what Scott's going to be describing the different eggs and sperm and that kind of stuff.
The eggs from both the mother and the donor are fertilized in the lab with dad's sperm. The embryos develop until the DNA from the sperm and egg form a pair of structures called the pronuclei. These contain the blueprints for the building or for building the human body, such as hair color and height.
The pronuclei are removed from both embryos, and the parent's DNA is put inside the embryo packed with healthy mitochondria. The resulting child is genetically related to their parents, but should be free from mitochondrial disease.
A pair of reports in the New England Journal of Medicine showed 22 families have gone through the process at the Newcastle Fertility Center. It led to 4 boys and 4 girls, including 1 pair of twins and 1 ongoing pregnancy. Okay.
Quote, to see the relief and joy in the faces of the parents of these babies after such a long wait and fear of consequences, it's brilliant to be able to see these babies alive, thriving, and developing normally, said Professor Bobby McFarland, the director of the NHS Highly Specialized Service for Rare Mitochondrial Disorders.
All of the babies were born free of mitochondrial disease and met their expected developmental milestones. There was a case of epilepsy. Okay, so it's not you're going to be disease free. You're still going to get some stuff. It's just certain diseases, these mitochondrial diseases, which cleared up by itself. And 1 child has an abnormal heart rhythm, which is being successfully treated.
These are not thought to be connected to defective mitochondria. It is not known whether this is part of the known risks of IVF, in vitro fertilization, something specific to the 3-person method, or something that has been detected only because the health of all babies born through this technique is monitored intensely.
Another key question hanging over the approach has been whether defective mitochondria would be transferred into the healthy embryo and what the consequences could be. The results show that in 5 cases, the diseased mitochondria were undetectable. In the other 3, between 5% and 20% of mitochondria were defective in blood and urine samples. This is below the 80% level thought to cause disease. It will take further work to understand why this occurred and if it can be prevented.
Normally I say this means give me your money, but I think this is well spent. Any money that they can get to do this research, I think it's great.
Yeah, if they can get rid of these diseases, that would be cool.
Professor Mary Herbert from Newcastle University and Monash University said, quote, the findings give grounds for optimism. However, research to better understand the limitations of mitochondrial donation technologies will be essential to further improve treatment outcomes.
Kat's youngest daughter, Poppy, who's 14, has the disease. Her eldest, Lily, 16, may pass it on to her children. Poppy is in a wheelchair, is nonverbal, and is fed through a tube. Quote, it's impacted a huge part of her life, I'll bet, says Kat. We have a lovely time as she is, but there are moments where you realize how devastating mitochondrial disease is. Quote.
Despite decades of work, there is still no cure for mitochondrial disease, but the chance to prevent it being passed on gives hope to Lily. It's the future generations like myself or my children or my cousins who can have that outlook of a normal life, she says.
Yeah. The UK not only developed the science of 3-person babies, but it also became the first country in the world to introduce laws to allow their creation after a vote in Parliament in 2015. There was controversy as mitochondria have DNA of their own, which controls how they function. It means the children have inherited DNA from their parents and around 0.1% from the donor woman. Okay, so
any girls born through this technique would pass this on to their own children, so it is a permanent alteration of human genetic inheritance. This was a step too far for some when the technology was debated, raising fears it would open the doors to genetically modified designer babies.
Professor Sir Doug Turnbull from the Newcastle University told me, this is a quote, I think this is the only place in the world this could have happened. There's been first-class science to get us to where we are. There have been legislation to allow it to move into clinical treatment, the NHS to help support it, and now we've got 8 children that seem to be free of mitochondrial disease. What a wonderful result. I agree.
Yeah. I hope this goes somewhere. I hope they can eliminate all the mitochondrial. Maybe it's a stepping stone to other things that can be prevented, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Like cancer, right? I mean, they've been working on
Cancer or Down syndrome or
Right.
any number of
Any of
Zika, the Zika viruses.
Yep. Autism. I mean, it just goes on. Yep. I love it.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you in the afternoon.
Take care, everyone. Thanks. Okay, I'll see you in a few.